God says, the time for hidden danger to be revealed has come. Archangel Michael stands beside you right now, his sword still glowing with divine fire because a spiritual battle just ended on your behalf. The words you are reading are not an accident. Heaven waited for this precise hour to tell you what has just happened behind the scenes. You were surrounded by a serpent energy, someone whose smile hid venom, whose hands touched your blessings but secretly squeezed them to drain your light. Michael says, that snake has been eliminated. It was not by chance. A heavenly order was released while you were sleeping, and angels were sent to your side to cut the cords that connected you to betrayal. God saw the one who pretended to love you while whispering your name in dark places. This person wore the mask of friendship or family, but their heart was filled with envy. They wanted your spirit dimmed so that you would never see the truth about yourself. But heaven saw the nights you cried, the confusion that made you question your own worth. Every tear became a sword in Michael's hand, every prayer you whispered was turned into light that exposed the darkness. That's why this message had to reach you now, because the elimination has already occurred. You might not have noticed yet, but something inside you feels lighter today, as though a shadow was finally lifted. That is not your imagination. It is confirmation. Archangel Michael says, he fought this battle for you without waiting for your permission because the threat had grown too close. The name, when you remember it, might sting. It may hurt your heart because this is someone you once trusted deeply. But God says, do not let sorrow enter. When a snake is removed from a garden, the flowers finally breathe again. What looked like loss is divine protection. What felt like rejection is redirection toward peace. The one who betrayed you has been exposed in the spiritual realm. They might still walk freely in the physical world, but their schemes have turned against them. Every curse they sent has returned to its sender sevenfold. You didn't have to lift a finger, heaven did it for you. That's how much you are loved. Michael says you were close to being trapped by manipulation, but divine timing rescued you in the very second your faith began to fade. He wants you to know that your safety is now sealed by light that cannot be broken by any human hand. God says, what you are about to see in the coming days will confirm this message. A sudden confession, an unexpected message, or a silence that explains everything, these are signs. Do not chase explanations. The truth will come on its own. When it does, let peace, not anger, be your answer. The snake has already been handled, you do not need to strike back. Michael wants you to understand that spiritual warfare is not about fighting people, it is about cutting cords of control. The one who smiled and spoke softly to you was silently tying you to fear, guilt, or emotional exhaustion. Heaven broke those knots. That's why you may feel strange, detached, or even lonely right now. Your spirit is adjusting to freedom. That emptiness is sacred space. It is where new light will grow. God says, he has replaced the venom with healing oil. Every wound that person caused is being sealed by grace. What they meant for harm is turning into your testimony. You will soon speak about this season not with bitterness, but with gratitude, because it showed you who you truly are. The enemy tried to use love as a weapon against you, but God is using love as your shield. Archangel Michael says, he saw the spirit of jealousy that hovered around you like fog. It came through someone who wanted to possess your peace but not protect it. You gave them too many chances because your heart is pure. But Michael intervened because they crossed a spiritual boundary. There was a night, he says, when your name was spoken in a place it should not have been. Plans were made in whispers, but every word was recorded by angels. That's when Michael struck. You might have felt restless that night or woken suddenly for no reason, because your spirit sensed the battle. The outcome was victory. Now heaven celebrates your deliverance. God says, this is not the end, it is the beginning of a new era for you. A heavy door has closed, and behind it, the old energies of deception are sealed forever. Another door is opening, one that leads to clarity, blessings, and partnerships that are pure. The reason this message feels urgent is that you are standing at a threshold. You must not look back. Do not reach for those who have been spiritually removed. If you try to reconnect with them, you will only feel drained again, because they no longer carry permission to walk in your light. God says, He is replacing false love with divine companionship. A friend, mentor, or partner will soon appear carrying truth in their spirit. You will recognize them not by what they say, but by how calm your soul feels when they enter the room. That peace will be your sign. The snake is gone, and in its absence, real connections will bloom. Archangel Michael says, to stay aligned, you must keep your spirit clean of bitterness. Do not speak curses against the one who wronged you, simply release them into the hands of God. Their own actions are already teaching them what words cannot. Remember, vengeance belongs to heaven. Your duty is to rise above and guard your heart. God is whispering, you are safe now. Those 3 words carry healing. Say them aloud if you can, I am safe now. Each time you repeat them, the light around you strengthens. Fear cannot enter where faith is spoken. You are surrounded by divine energy so radiant that lower vibrations will begin to avoid you naturally. That's how deliverance works. It changes your frequency until what once attracted pain can no longer find you. Michael reminds you that this elimination was not just about a person, it was about a pattern. The snake represented a cycle of giving too much, trusting too fast, and carrying others' burdens as your own. The divine plan is to break that pattern completely. From now on, discernment will be your gift. You will sense deceit before it reaches your doorstep. You will hear truth beneath silence. You will see intentions before they are revealed. That is the spiritual maturity born from pain turned into wisdom. God says, the next 7 days are sacred. Use them to cleanse your space, both physically and spiritually. Open windows, light candles, pray, play music that lifts your energy. Speak gratitude for what has been removed, not sorrow. Thank heaven for unseen victories. You don't have to understand every detail. Divine protection rarely explains itself in the moment. It simply acts. You might soon hear the name of the person who betrayed you again, perhaps from someone else or through an unexpected message. When it happens, remember, this is only confirmation, not reopening of wounds. Smile quietly and say in your heart, "Thank you, God, for saving me from what I didn't see." The pain will soften each time you remember that you were chosen for protection, not punishment. Michael says, to remain strong, wear your faith like armor. Do not feed fear by replaying old memories. The past no longer holds power. The snake is eliminated. Its poison cannot survive in your bloodstream any longer. If you feel lingering heaviness, breathe deeply and imagine light entering your chest. Exhale the old energy. Every breath is a renewal. God wants you to know that your destiny is too important to be delayed by deceit. You are stepping into a phase of visibility. Doors of opportunity will open that once seemed sealed. The same people who tried to hide your value will witness your rise. Do not boast, let your peace speak louder than revenge. The higher you go, the quieter you must become. Silence confuses the enemy more than shouting ever could. Archangel Michael is guiding you to take a bold step soon, one that aligns with your purpose. Do not let fear disguise itself as logic. When divine timing calls, hesitation becomes disobedience. Trust that the path will reveal itself as you walk. Every divine assignment begins with a moment of courage. This message is that moment. You are being called to rebuild your life with new foundations, truth, faith, and discernment. No more manipulation, no more half-light relationships. God says, the ones who are meant to walk with you will not drain you, they will water your spirit. This is your season of purification, and that's why some things have been falling apart. But in reality, they are falling into place. Michael says, the snake's removal has created a vacancy in your life, and heaven intends to fill it with blessings you once thought were lost. Finances, peace of mind, emotional healing, all of these will start to flow again. Watch for sudden shifts in your circumstances, delays disappearing, long-awaited answers arriving, unexpected support showing up. These are the visible signs of invisible warfare won on your behalf. God says, do not confuse peace with emptiness. The silence after the storm is not loneliness, it is clarity. He wants you to enjoy stillness because that's where instructions are given. Spend time in prayer, even a few minutes daily, not to ask for more, but to listen. What you hear in those quiet moments will direct your next steps. Heaven also warns, not everyone will understand the new you. When you start walking in light, people who benefited from your confusion will pull away. Let them. Their distance is proof of your growth. Do not chase what God removed. The ones meant for you will come without force. Archangel Michael says, there is still one test left, forgiveness. True freedom is not complete until forgiveness is spoken. You are not forgiving to excuse the harm, you are forgiving to release the weight. Say it out loud when you are ready, I forgive you, and I free myself. When you do, you will feel the final chains fall. God says, you were never meant to live under constant spiritual attack. You are a child of divine promise, and your story will inspire others. People will look at your journey and see evidence of supernatural protection. Every betrayal will become proof of how God restores His chosen ones. Michael says, when you see feathers, coins, or sudden light flickers in the coming days, know that they are His signs of presence. He wants you to remember that He stands guard. Nothing will touch you without divine permission. The snake is gone, and in its place, angels walk. God says, do not fear new beginnings. What feels unfamiliar is actually sacred territory. Step into it with confidence. The old cycle has closed permanently. You are now aligned with truth. Walk boldly, speak kindly, love wisely. Heaven smiles upon you. And remember, you are safe, loved, and guarded. The snake has been eliminated. The name may hurt you, but its power has ended. Your peace begins now. God will be with you, rest assured, nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. Trust Him. Pray, and keep walking in light. God says, listen carefully, this is urgent and meant only for you. Archangel Michael says, I order you to open this message now, because something has just been removed from your path that was meant to destroy your peace. A snake has been eliminated from your life. The name, when revealed, will hurt you deeply, but this exposure is a divine act of mercy, not cruelty. What you thought was love, loyalty, or friendship was actually a disguise for jealousy, deceit, and hidden malice. You were surrounded by smiles that carried poison, but heaven saw the venom long before you did. God says, do not be afraid of what is coming into the light. The snake has already been defeated. Its plans have been scattered into ashes. I saw every whisper behind your back, every false promise made to your face, every smile that hid an evil intention. They wanted your downfall because your light made their darkness uncomfortable. They wanted to confuse you, to make you question your worth, to make you think that maybe you are not chosen, not loved, not blessed. But God says, you are His chosen one, and no one can touch what He has protected. Archangel Michael says, the battle around your name was fierce. There were nights when demons gathered around your destiny, trying to bind your blessings with invisible ropes. But every time they spoke your name in the dark, your guardian angels shouted it back into the light. The snake was not just a person, it was a spirit of deceit, hiding inside someone you once trusted. The name you will soon hear will pierce your heart because you never expected this betrayal. Yet God says, let it pierce, let it hurt, for only through truth can healing begin. Heaven is not exposing this to break you, but to free you. The one who smiled at you while praying against you has been silenced by divine command. The one who thought they could take what belongs to you is now under divine judgment. God says, I am the one who removes snakes from gardens. I am the one who restores peace to those who have cried in secret. I am the one who knows when someone's hands are dirty though their words sound holy. Archangel Michael stood at your side when that person whispered lies about you. He was there when you felt confusion rise like fog in your spirit. Every tear you cried in silence became a sword in his hand. Michael says, the snake tried to bite, but I crushed its head. That's why your sleep has been restless, your heart has been uneasy, and your spirit has been alert, because heaven was at war while you were unaware. The enemy was using someone close, but the plan has failed. God says, this elimination was necessary for your next season. Some people could not go where you are going. Their hearts were not aligned with divine intention. If they had stayed, your destiny would have been delayed. But now, every hidden enemy is being removed one by one. Do not chase what I've already removed, says the Lord. Do not try to understand every detail, just know that the snake has been exposed and cast out. The name will come to you soon, through a conversation, a dream, or a sudden revelation. When it does, do not be shocked. You might feel sadness, even anger, but remember this: God allowed you to see the truth because you prayed for protection. This is the answer to your prayer. You asked God to remove anyone who meant you harm, and He did. This is what divine exposure feels like, painful but necessary. Archangel Michael says, I guarded your home. I blocked attacks you never saw. I stood between you and those who wanted to harm you. That sudden delay, that unexpected no, that cancelled plan, it was protection, not rejection. The snake wanted to trap you in situations that would have led to destruction. But God said, not this one. Not my chosen. There were meetings you weren't invited to because heaven prevented it. There were messages that went unanswered because angels intercepted them. There were opportunities that fell apart because they were poisoned by deceit. You thought you lost something, but what you lost was the trap. The snake has been neutralized. The venom cannot touch you now. God says, be still and do not seek revenge. You are not called to fight flesh and blood, your battle is spiritual. Leave the matter in God's hands. The same people who dug a pit for you are now falling into it themselves. The same lips that lied about you are now silenced by guilt and consequence. Do not waste your energy trying to prove who you are. Heaven has already vindicated you. You might hear the name and think, how could it be them? But remember, not everyone who smiles is sincere. Some people are sent to delay, to drain, to discourage. They study your light to imitate it, but they can't carry the purity behind it. That's why they envy you. They tried to copy your peace, your grace, your connection to God, but they couldn't fake it for long. The snake's disguise is falling apart now. Archangel Michael says, your discernment is awakening. You will start feeling an instant discomfort when you're around certain energies. That's your spirit warning you. You will see through words, through smiles, through the surface. Don't ignore what your spirit feels anymore. When something feels off, it is off. When someone's energy makes you uneasy, trust that. The Holy Spirit is speaking through your intuition. God says, your peace is coming back. The confusion that clouded your mind was not yours, it was a projection from the snake's energy. Now that it's gone, you will notice clarity returning like light through clouds. Your dreams will be clearer, your thoughts calmer, your body lighter. That's how you know a toxic spirit has been removed. The atmosphere around you will shift. The tension will fade. The heaviness will lift. God says, rejoice, but stay vigilant. When one snake is eliminated, sometimes others reveal themselves. That's why you must keep your prayer strong. Do not let comfort make you careless. Stay aligned with heaven's instructions. Pray before you trust. Pray before you speak. Pray before you reveal your plans. The enemy hates what he can't predict. Keep your next move private until it's complete. Archangel Michael says, the war over your destiny was not small. There were contracts written in the unseen realm to delay your blessings. But God tore them apart. There were people manipulated by jealousy and envy, and they didn't even know they were being used. The one whose name will be revealed, they became an instrument for darkness without realizing it. That's why God removed them swiftly. You were not meant to carry that pain forever. God says, I saw how much you gave. You offered love, trust, kindness, and they returned betrayal. You prayed for them, even defended them, while they plotted against you. But do not regret your kindness. It wasn't wasted, it showed heaven who you truly are. It proved that your heart is pure, and that's why your blessings will multiply. Those who tried to curse you have accidentally blessed you instead. Archangel Michael says, the tables have turned. What they planned against you has reversed back to them. You will hear of confusion in their life, chaos in their camp, loss in their alliances. It's not your doing, it's divine balance. God does not let deceit prosper forever. Every lie told against you is being exposed. Every false accusation is collapsing under its own weight. Every secret conversation is being brought into the light. God says, prepare your heart. When you hear the name, breathe. Do not allow bitterness to enter. Forgive, but don't forget the lesson. I will deal with the rest. I have marked your path with divine justice. No one can touch what I have sealed. You are surrounded by angels, even when you feel alone. Michael says, the enemy is confused because their access has been revoked. That's why you may notice people suddenly pulling away, growing distant, or turning cold. It's not rejection, it's redirection. They can no longer access your energy because your frequency has shifted. God elevated you without your permission because your heart earned it. You are no longer on the same spiritual level as those who plotted against you. God says, I am leading you to new connections, new strength, new peace. Do not look back. Let the snake crawl away into its own darkness. Your light will shine brighter now because the shadow has been removed. You will notice sudden opportunities, unexpected blessings, and divine alignments, not by chance, but by design. The moment the snake was removed, your destiny path cleared. You might not understand everything today, but one day you will look back and thank God for every closed door, every canceled plan, every unexpected goodbye. You will realize it wasn't loss. God says, the winds are shifting, and something has been removed from your path that once carried poison into your destiny. Archangel Michael stands before you, his sword still blazing with divine light, and his voice trembles the air around you. He says, the snake is gone. The one that whispered lies into your ear, the one that drained your light, the one that smiled while plotting your downfall, has been removed. Heaven has intervened in your story, and though the name will pierce your heart when you discover it, you must understand that this was mercy in disguise. God did not allow this serpent to stay near you any longer. It was time. The mask had to fall. The truth had to come forward. There was a time when you trusted this person completely. You believed they wanted the best for you. You even prayed for them. You saw them as your companion, your guide, your family, your confidant. But deep beneath their words was an agenda that was never pure. They smiled to your face while secretly hoping to see you fail. They shook your hand but whispered about you in places you could not see. You felt their energy before you understood their intention. Every time you grew, they became restless. Every time you succeeded, their smile tightened. Every time you spoke light, they released darkness. God says, I saw it all. I watched as their heart became filled with jealousy, envy, and hidden hatred. I gave them time to change. I gave them opportunities to confess. But instead of repenting, they doubled down on their deception. Archangel Michael says he was assigned to protect you during the nights when this person thought they had you cornered. There were meetings, conversations, and secret plans that were meant to humiliate you. But heaven recorded every word, every text, every call. Every plan that was meant to harm you was intercepted by angels who turned those plans into blessings for your life. The reason God is revealing this now is because your season of clarity has arrived. You can no longer walk blind among serpents. God says, I am not exposing them to hurt you, I am exposing them to free you. You prayed for peace, and peace requires the removal of chaos. You prayed for truth, and truth always destroys the lie. You prayed for love, and love cannot exist where manipulation lives. That is why the snake had to go. Archangel Michael says, do not fear the name that comes to your mind. Do not cry over what God has removed. You are not losing anything, you are being preserved. This revelation may sting at first, but soon you will breathe easier. There will be silence after the storm. There will be laughter where once there were tears. Because the energy that drained you has been severed permanently. Michael's sword has drawn a line of divine separation. You will notice in the days ahead that your thoughts feel lighter, your sleep becomes deeper, and your intuition sharper. That is because the spiritual fog that surrounded you has lifted. For too long, that serpent fed on your confusion. It made you doubt yourself. It made you question your purpose. It whispered, "You're not good enough," while pretending to support you. But heaven says you are more than enough. You are chosen. You are anointed. And no snake can slither into the garden that God has already fenced with angelic protection. The name will come to you. You will not have to search for it. God will show you through a sign, a dream, or a conversation that feels too coincidental to ignore. When you realize who it is, your heart might tremble, because it will be someone you never expected. But remember this: sometimes betrayal wears the face of someone familiar. Sometimes danger hides behind affection. But God says, "I allowed them near you only so you could see what false love looks like before I bless you with the real thing." Archangel Michael stands guard even now, watching your surroundings. He says there were multiple serpents, but one main snake led the others. That snake is now neutralized. You may hear rumors or see someone suddenly fall silent or distance themselves from you. Do not chase them. Let them go. God's hand has already pulled them out of your energy field. They may try to come back pretending nothing happened, but the Holy Spirit will make you feel an uneasy chill when they do. That is heaven's alarm system telling you, do not open that door again. You have crossed into a new frequency, and not everyone who started with you can go where you are going. The next stage of your destiny requires purity around you, purity of intention, purity of spirit, purity of company. God says, I am protecting your purpose, not your comfort. That is why this removal feels sudden, even shocking. But what you don't realize yet is that this divine elimination has saved you from something catastrophic. Archangel Michael says, you were one conversation away from a trap. You were one step away from signing something or agreeing to something that would have bound your blessings for years. But heaven interrupted. Someone was using your trust to manipulate your path. They smiled as they waited for you to fall. But the moment they thought you were within their control, the angels intervened. A sudden event shifted the entire situation, and they were exposed in the spiritual realm. They are now spiritually powerless to harm you again. God says, do not look back. Do not ask why. Just thank me. Every removal is a rescue in disguise. Every no from heaven is protection from heartbreak. You have been asking for a breakthrough, and this was the first step toward it. A clean atmosphere around you allows miracles to manifest without interference. You will now notice that your prayers begin to be answered faster. Your finances will start to move. Your creativity will return. The heaviness that followed you will begin to dissolve. Because the snake that was draining your energy has been removed. The name might still hurt you. Memories might flood your mind. But God says, I am replacing pain with revelation. What you thought was friendship was really assignment. What you thought was love was really a test. What you thought was coincidence was really coordination. But heaven has seen every thread of deception and cut it apart. Archangel Michael says, there are still small serpents watching from afar, but they cannot touch you anymore. They will hiss, they will whisper, they will try to confuse others about you, but none of their words will stick. Every false rumor will collapse. Every lie will return to sender. You are divinely shielded. The snake that was removed will soon face their own mirror. They will experience what they sent out multiplied. God is not cruel, He is just. What they planted, they will harvest. And when they realize what they lost, they will weep. But that is not your burden. You have already forgiven them. You are walking away with your peace intact. You must now focus on the path ahead. There are new doors that will open. There is an opportunity connected to your purpose that could not reach you until this snake was removed. God is clearing the stage for your grand entrance. There will be a call, a message, or a meeting in the coming days that changes something important for you. It will feel sudden, almost supernatural. That is because heaven works in divine timing, not human schedules. Michael says, be alert. Signs are coming quickly now. Numbers will repeat. People will say words that echo your thoughts. These are confirmations. The message is this: you are safe. You are covered. The snake is gone. There is a celebration in heaven because you finally broke free from a cycle that lasted too long. You may have repeated patterns with people who used you, betrayed you, or misunderstood you. This time, you learn the lesson. The chain is broken. The test is passed. You are graduating into a new spiritual dimension. God says, you will not see the same darkness again. You will not cry over the same pain. You will not walk in the same confusion. This is over. The elimination of the snake was the final step before your manifestation season begins. You will feel it in your spirit, a quiet strength returning, a renewed clarity, a surge of divine confidence. Archangel Michael says, you are under divine surveillance now. Every move you make will be guided. Every door that isn't meant for you will close before you can even knock. Every person who comes with false energy will be revealed by their vibration. That is how protected you are. Heaven will not allow you to walk blindly anymore. The energy around you is shifting rapidly. You may feel emotional without reason. You may sense people pulling away or behaving differently. That's not rejection, it's alignment. God is removing anyone whose energy cannot survive where you're going. You are about to enter a season of light so pure that any darkness around you will automatically expose itself. The snake's elimination also symbolizes an inner transformation. The part of you that tolerated disrespect, that gave endless chances, that ignored red flags, that version of you is dying. A stronger, wiser, more spiritually awakened version of you is emerging. You are no longer prey. You are protected royalty. Michael says, do not seek revenge. You do not need to explain yourself. Just walk away in silence and let your blessings speak for you. In due time, those who doubted you will witness your rise. Those who betrayed you will watch you shine. Those who plotted against you will have to confess that they underestimated the one chosen by God. There will be a moment soon where you will feel the urge to reach out, to confront, or to demand closure. But God says, your closure is their absence. You do not need to reopen old wounds to prove you have healed. Your peace is the proof. The snake is gone, but the lesson remains. And this time, you will not ignore your intuition. When your spirit feels uneasy, you will listen. When someone's words do not match their energy, you will trust what you sense. When God says, step back, you will obey immediately. This obedience will protect you from future traps. Archangel Michael says, your obedience is your armor. The moment you trust divine instruction more than emotional attachment, you become untouchable. Heaven's protection is strongest around those who listen. The next weeks will bring divine confirmation after divine confirmation. You will see people reveal their true colors without provocation. You will receive unexpected favor from directions you never considered. You will feel unseen forces working for your good. These are the effects of your deliverance. God says, I am proud of you for surviving what was meant to destroy you. You did not become bitter. You did not give up. You chose faith instead of fear. That choice has rewritten your future. The curses have been broken. The snake is gone, and now the blessings can flow without obstruction. In the silence of the night, when your thoughts wander and you start to remember what you lost, remember this: you did not lose anything real. You were only released from what was false. Every removal created space for something sacred. And something sacred is already on its way to you. The spiritual air around you is clear. The angels rejoice. Archangel Michael lowers his sword and smiles. He says, "It is finished. You are free. You are protected. You are chosen. The snake has been eliminated. The rest is restoration. God will be with you, rest assured, nothing will go wrong with you, you are safe, you just have to trust God and pray to Him." God says, listen carefully, this is an urgent divine alert meant only for you. Archangel Michael stands near you right now, his wings trembling with divine force, his sword raised in holy fire. He is saying, open this now, for time has been measured, and the hour of revelation has struck. A snake has been eliminated from your life. The name that will come to your mind may hurt you, but it must be faced. You are being delivered from something that was meant to destroy you. Do not fear what is being removed, for what is leaving you was never aligned with the light of your destiny. There was a person who smiled in your presence but hissed in your absence. Their energy was venom cloaked as affection, and you kept wondering why your peace kept slipping away like water through your fingers. You could not see it, but Archangel Michael saw. Every whisper spoken against you in the dark, every false prayer offered in your name with hidden malice, every gesture that looked kind but carried poison, he saw it all. God has now intervened. The snake is gone. Heaven has issued an order of divine removal. The spiritual cords that connected you to this person have been cut. You may feel a strange lightness, like a burden suddenly lifted. That is the release. The serpent has slithered away, back into the pit it came from. But before you celebrate, God asks you to prepare your heart, because the name of that person will still echo in your memory. You will recall moments of laughter, shared words, times you trusted. The pain will come, but do not mistake that pain for loss, it is purification. The Holy Spirit is washing your soul clean from every residue of deception. Archangel Michael says you have been under observation by heaven for months. You were tested with love, loyalty, patience, and endurance. You passed, even when you thought you were failing. Every tear that fell from your eyes was recorded, not one went unnoticed. When you cried, "Why do I feel so alone even when surrounded by people?" God heard that. The loneliness you felt was not punishment, it was divine separation. Heaven was isolating you from what looked good but was secretly evil. The one who has been removed from your path was not who they appeared to be. Behind the smiles were lies, behind the comfort was control. You thought they cared, but in truth, they cared only for what they could take from you, your peace, your confidence, your energy. This person studied your weaknesses and used your kindness as a key to enter your spiritual space. They spoke your name with flattery but wrote your downfall in silence. But God said, "Enough." The elimination of the snake is not a coincidence. It is a divine operation. Heaven's armies have moved to secure your destiny. A door has been closed, and no man or woman can reopen it. You will not be dragged back into old cycles. The toxicity that once drained you has been destroyed. You will no longer wake up with confusion in your spirit. You will no longer feel spiritually heavy after speaking to certain people. The peace you've been praying for is returning. But God also says this: brace yourself, for the truth is not always gentle. The name of the one removed will sting when it appears in your dreams or crosses your mind. You may even hear from them soon. They will reach out with words that seem repentant, but their heart remains unchanged. That is why Archangel Michael warns you, do not reopen the door God has sealed. If you allow them back in, their venom will return stronger than before. They will try to disguise themselves as someone transformed, but discernment is your shield. God is preparing to reward